or by noticing potential hazards to patients and reporting these. We feel like we do a good job of patient safety here, but there's always room for improvement. So we have a patient safety committee that meets monthly, and you've probably seen your supervisor or someone from your department going to one of those meetings. So what I wanted to do today was let you know a little bit about what we do at those meetings. We usually go to Poblanos, and I usually have the quesadillas. And no, I'm kidding. Seriously, we address any of these safety measures that have come out, and recently, right now, what we're working on is a new national patient safety goal that involves alarm fatigue. And if any of you have ever had a smoke alarm that went off in your house every time you cooked, and so you finally got so mad at it that you took the battery out, that's alarm fatigue. We don't want you to be taking the batteries out of anything here at the hospital. We also just initiated a new PI study of IT issues that could cause patient harm. Pam has worked really hard on this. It looks nice so far. With the implementation of CPOE, there have been a lot of changes. Y'all know that. Lots of work has gone on to ensure that no patient was harmed. When we started CPOE, I'm sure the nurses can tell you there was a lot of things that had to be kind of worked around and done, and a lot of hard work went on to make sure that that patient got the correct drug or whatever that he needed. So we thought we should document all this so that we get credit for all this work that we did, and then over time we're going to show how that improves. Hopefully in a few months you won't have to be working so hard to make sure that patient gets the medicine he needs. Every month we also we report any complaints that were related to patient safety. Those are brought to this committee. Sometimes patients, family, or those frontline staff are the first ones to know about a potential safety hazard. So you can't always leave it up to the administration or the department managers or directors to know about a safety hazard. The people that are working and doing the work, they're the ones that are going to see it first. So we talk about any of those. We report any progressive discipline that was done because of a patient safety issue. And this is so that we'll make sure that no one is punished for making an error involving patient safety. And we do that so that employees will not hesitate to fill out, to report those errors. And studies have shown that errors are usually caused by systems that make slip-ups happen. So we need to know about these slip-ups. So we need those to be reported so that we can fix the system. No employee has received any discipline because of an issue involving patient safety in over a year. But we check that every month. We couldn't remember back any further than a year. We don't think anybody's got one. So if you know of an error, you need to report it, which brings me to my next one. Raise your hand if you've ever filled out a variance report. Good for you. Good for you. Who's filled out 10? Filled out 20. All right, see, we're right. Those people, that is great. Because reporting errors, and not just errors, you need to report near misses. Those are one of the ways that you can find a system error or a practice that is set up to be easy for you to mess up. We need to fix it before it causes patient harm. And also in patient safety, we track all these variances. I don't want you to think that you fill out these variances and they're just put in a pile. Beth looks at every one. She makes sure that they've been followed up on. The action that needs to have been taken is already taken. But then we go over them in patient safety meetings and we track those. So if we see a lot of variances being filled out for the same process that you were doing, that's a key that, hey, we need to fix that process. That's a way for people to mess up. So we go over those. We look at compliance tracking quarterly, and this is the National Patient Safety Goals or any compliance issue that would affect patient safety. Beth and Gayla report our HIN issues, and for our hospital that's things like CODIs and SSIs and central line infections. And then each department has a chance to report any issues that they know about that might impact patient safety. So if you know of something, tell your department director, tell me, tell somebody. We'll talk about it, patient safety. We'll see what we can do about it. And finally, if we have time, I try to do some kind of patient safety education. And I want to tell you, I'm telling you all this just so that you'll know that we're committed to patient safety at this hospital. And we can only achieve that if everybody helps. Y'all do all the work. All we do in this committee is just where we put all that work on the paper and we make sure that all the departments are communicating with each other. You know, so that I don't know about something and then you could fix it, but I didn't ever tell you about it. So that's kind of good communication place. I have a poster up here, and Skip's got another copy of it. He's going to hold it up for the people who can't see this one up here. I thought you might appreciate this since we've been implementing CPOE and all the other meaningful use stuff. It shows what's called the distress and adaptive work. Adaptive work is when you are learning how to do something differently. Okay, you're having to learn to adapt what you do to a different system. And your limit of tolerance. So if this is you, I need to hold that up just a second. If this is you, you probably need to step it up a little bit. It seems really nice, but no growth is going on right there. There's no you are not learning anything new right there. So then when you have to change, you're not learning. You're not even trying to do things. You're not trying to learn anything new. If this is you, this is what we call the productive range of distress. You're having to work a little hard. You might be sweating a little bit. Your brain cells are really having to work to learn something new and to learn the new system. We call this the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot of adaptive learning. You are a little bit stressed, but you can handle it. And then you get to the point. Oh, y'all can't see. If this is you, you're up here. Oh, you're over your limit of tolerance. And when you have reached the limit of tolerance, that's where a patient harm could happen. That's where something is going to happen to a patient, because if you're having to work this hard to do whatever process it is that your patient needs, some kind of error is going to happen. And when you get to that point, that is when you need to say, somebody needs to come help me. Report that to somebody so that they can fix it. You can't maintain this for very long. And an example of that is, and I wasn't in on all this, but on CPOE, I think we were having a lot of issues. We had some nurses who looked like this. And they called in some help from CPSI. They got some people to come in and kind of backed up, hunted, and did some more training and made some changes and fixes, and they got that fixed. And CPOE is just one example of adaptive change. So, you know, we're going to, after you've made your change and everybody's good at it, then you see the line goes back down here, you got that. You know, you don't even have to think about it, you can just do it. But you know what's going to happen? We're going to change something else. There's going to be another change. There's always going to be adaptive challenges going on, because remember that if you're not going forward, you're sliding backwards. And we don't ever want to slide backwards. Okay, thank you.